If you stop exercising, your muscles will deflate. Which break will be useful for the results? And which break will lead to muscle loss? In this video, I'll tell you about what will happen to your body if you stop working out. So, watch the video till the end, it will be interesting. Those who exercise consistently and regularly can sometimes take a break from training and not lose muscle. Your muscle memory is the guarantee that you won't have to start all over again. If you work out for a long time, for example, several times a week for a year, then even if you stop doing it, you won't regress to the initial level. Keeping fit is easier if you expose yourself to at least light daily stress, and not be completely motionless, as happens in the case of a number of diseases and injuries. Muscle memory is an amazing thing. Muscles retain the accumulated level of adaptation to stress factors that arise as a result of past training for another 2 to 3 weeks after they stop. That is how long they are waiting for the resumption of workouts, and can relatively easily merge into their usual training schedule. But even during this time, muscle mass is lost. Dutch scientists found that in professional strength athletes, the cross-sectional area of fast muscle fibers decreased by 6.4% after 14 days of rest. Accordingly, with a short-term refusal of strength training, the strength and size of muscle fibers can decrease. And fibers that have lost in size, when training is resumed, come into shape faster than untrained ones. With a break of more than 3 weeks, everything will depend on your training level and the type of load. In sprinters, weightlifters, and other strength athletes, the cross-sectional area, and, accordingly, the volume of muscle fibers during a monthly break noticeably decreases. The same thing happens with the muscles of beginners who have just started training in any sport, even if it is endurance training. For those who have been involved in aerobic sports for a long time, muscle volume is maintained during this period of rest. For example, in a study conducted by the American College of Sports Medicine, professional swimmers maintained their muscle strength for a month after they stopped training. But the missed workouts didn't go completely without a trace. Another aspect suffered: the ability to generate stroke power, on which the swimming technique and the results of the competition depend. Could a break in training be helpful? For long-term trainees, a short break in training can even be beneficial to get off the ground when the muscles have already become accustomed to the load, and their adaptation to stress has increased, due to which progress isn't noticeable. After 1 to 2 weeks off, you can start training with renewed vigor, perhaps by changing the set of exercises. The fact is that during pauses in training, changes occur in the hormonal sphere, which can enhance the anabolic process, the growth and development of biological structures, including muscles. We don't see a visible increase in muscle volume directly during rest, but the changes take full effect if you return to training after 1 to 2 weeks. What happens to the muscles in the case of bed rest? The answer to this question was found by the doctors of the Research Center of the Medical Department of the University of Texas. In order to evaluate muscle protein synthesis, muscle mass, and strength characteristics, they conducted an experiment. The group of healthy men was placed on a 28-day bed rest simulating the stress experienced during illness. The subjects received special preparations to mimic the plasma concentration of the hormone cortisol corresponding to an injury or illness. The control group of volunteers was in a hospital without simulating stressful conditions. The result is that physical inactivity, coupled with a hormonal stress response to injury or illness, resulted in loss of muscle mass, leg extension strength, and muscle protein synthesis in perfectly healthy men. Compared to the group who were in the hospital bed just for the sake of rest, their loss in leg extension strength was 28.4% greater, and their leg muscle mass decreased by 3 times. The conclusion that is obvious from this experiment is that 4 weeks of break are not as dangerous as the combination of complete inactivity with the stress caused by the disease. To summarize, we can say that people who are consistently engaged in training shouldn't be afraid of a short-term cessation of physical activity. 1 to 2 weeks is not enough to cause a noticeable loss of muscle mass, as opposed to a longer pause. If you found this video valuable, then hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. By the way, friends, be sure to watch other videos on this channel, links are on the screen right now.